and welcome to Ryan's Recipes. Now, it's probably been 2, maybe even 3 years since I did one of these, and I thought, why not? It's near Christmas. Let's make muffins. Now, this idea came about from when I did a juice first thing this morning, and I've got that pulpy stuff left at the end. I went, I'll make some muffins, that would be great. And then this idea went on, and I went, I'm going to make some muffins. And then I'm looking around and I can make this flavour muffins. And then also I looked at the juicer again a minute ago and went, oh yeah, I was gonna make muffins with what came out the back of that thing. So we're gonna make 2 flavour muffins. So I have a tray thing that muffins can go in the cooker. And I have a vague idea. In my head, a muffin is like a little cake. And what's cake? It's like some flour and some things and whatever else you want to do with it. So let's see what we do. So let's start with eggs. I know eggs go in cakes. So we're gonna make, so it's apple and ginger was the juice I had earlier. So what we're going to do is we are going to have some apple and ginger flavoured muffins. And then I might do something that's inspired by an espresso martini. So that's 2. Should we do 3? Yeah, 3 eggs. Yeah, it's 2 and 1 for luck. So we've got 3 eggs. And it's, I'm right in saying like a cake, it's always like equal parts, isn't it? So let's put them over there. A cake is always like equal parts like flour. Oh, is it water or milk? I'm rationed on milk at the moment, so we're having water. Water will do. So, got some flour. Do a thin it, sieve it. Do I have a sieve? Yes. Got a sieve. Because I've heard this weird thing that if you sieve flour, you get more air into it, which means you get fluffier muffins, I'm guessing. Makes sense. So that's that bag done. So this is where I've got to make sure all my random cameras are recording. So I've got one here hanging off the mug tree, which is that one. Got one over there hanging on the tap, and I've got this one here as like a first person camera. So this is either going to go really well or really badly. As I said, it must be 2, maybe 3 years. Oh, already, God, I nearly spilled flour in my tea then. That would have been bad. How do you make it go through the sieve without going everywhere else? Because if I shake side to side, it comes over the edge sometimes. And if you just like lift it up and like flap it a little bit, it just still goes everywhere. No, also, I'm not doing measurements. There's not a recipe. I'm just going off memory of roughly what I believe should go in a cake. So it can't be that hard. A cake is like sweet bread, but I know there's a couple of variations. You know, bread is like a pizza. I can make pizzas. Pizzas are easy for me. I've lived and breathed pizzas for a while. So it's no yeast but baking powder, because you're baking muffins. So you don't use yeast, you use baking powder. You put eggs in because they bind it together, and I'm sure there's something else, but I don't know. I think so. I probably should put some water in. So let's use a pint glass and get some water. See, I nearly moved the tap then and moved one of my cameras. So there's about half a pint of water. So also, because I'm doing 2 different flavours, I'm going to try and make a core bit of the recipe, mix it, and then separate it if I can. Don't know how much of this stuff. Baking powder, do a little sprinkle of that. But I'm then gonna, separate it and then work out, a bit more for luck, then work out how I can add all the extra ingredients and make them flavourful. So, a bit of salt. And I'll put salt in a pizza, so I'm putting salt in a cake. And because it's a cake, it'll have sugar. Now, I'm sure you're meant to use like caster sugar for baking, but I'm going with granulated sugar, so it's just bigger sugar. sugar, isn't it, really? It's not ice and sugar, that goes a bit weird. So let's have a quick slurp of tea and then I'll mix it up a bit. Is there anything I'm missing? So what we got? So we've got flour, we've got water, baking powder, 3 eggs was it, bit of sugar, dash of salt. I can't be far off, can it? Right. So, hands are all clean. Oh, that's really cold. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if I've got my measurements right here. So far, I'm thinking it might want more flour, because so far it just feels, it's very gooey. Very gooey. So, they always say that if you're like a proper baker, you can do it by feel or do it by eye. You don't need a recipe. I'm going to question that. Actually, no, we'll go with that. So far, I've got a very loose, very sort of gooey mixture, which, yeah, that's going to want more flour in there. So, let's shake off what I can, rinse my hands, and then I can pick up the flour without turning my entire kitchen into a cake. Okay, let's try and do this. It's probably half an egg's worth going down the sink here, but no need must, gotta get that balance. Right. Just dry my hands off a little bit. So, what we got? Flour is next. Where's your bag of flour? To be fair, I've still got a little bit. Oh no, I don't. Okay. New flour. New flour. So, I've got to judge it because I've got to mix this by hand. Hang on, people use spoons. Why am I mixing this by hand like an animal? People use wooden spoons. Here's me thinking, oh, I've got to work out how much I've got to put in there before I start mixing it up. Nah, I just use a spoon. We've evolved as a species. We use tools. Dolphins don't use tools. We do. And people say dolphins are clever. But not. But really not. They just swim about all day. Apparently they can talk. Just make noise. All animals make noise. So, that looks more cake-like now, doesn't it? So let's mix it up a little bit. That's going to want a little bit more flour. So I also got to think, with the different mixes, do I need different consistencies? We're back. So where was I? Did I sieve my second lot of flour? I don't think I did. I won't sieve. Whoa. I was going to say I won't sieve the third lot, but I probably should have. It probably wants more baking powder. Is there a ratio to baking powder and flour? Oh, I don't know. You'd have thought so. Okay. This is looking... See, by eye now, I'm thinking if this was a pizza dough, I'm getting there. But I'm not making a pizza dough. As you might know, this is actually a pizza school apron. Back from when I travelled in international pizza making schools. And there we had beer, settling with tea. And I'm in control here. I feel like I've really shortchanged myself. But it is only afternoon. Though it's dark enough out there to be mid-evening. Okay. That looks like it could be a cake in the making, which is always reassuring. So, I'm going to put half that mixture into a bowl. So let's work out how this works. Oh yeah, it's very sticky. Again, I probably should have used like a tool for this bit, but you know, just scrape my hand on the side of a bowl. That'll do. Another handful. So 2 handfuls will make the second mixture. God, I sound like the guy from Gladiator then. You will go on my first whistle. So we've got a couple of scoops there. Let's bring the bowl back into place. So which one to do first? Let's do the fruity one first. Fruity one first. Cool. So, for this, now if I pause in the corner here, I can make you feel I've got a really long kitchen, but I don't. It's not that much of a walk. So in here, I've got bits of like apple and ginger. These are from this morning. Oh, let's take that a bit of stock. Should have probably filtered these a little bit. I can have a couple of bigger bits of apple there. You know, because then that's like putting like raisins and chocolate chips in, isn't it? Bigger apples. Oh, I could put chocolate in. Now I'm just mixing this by hand now. So let's mix this by hand. Oh, that's looking good, isn't it? That's looking good. Okay, so that's in there. Should have probably used a spoon, but rinse my hand off again. So at least one muffin's gone down the sink that I've washed off my hand. I think that's a fair assumption to make. So, hang on. I'm still going to have to cut some of these bits out in the edit. Now, I have a great idea. Rum! Muffins need rum, especially when it's this time of year, but that camera's died. So we're down to 2 cameras, but we have rum. Perhaps that one just doesn't approve of alcohol. That camera's thinking, nah, it's going to go downhill. It's getting the booze out. Gosh, if you're going downhill, I might as well put a little bit in my tea. Splash in my tea. So, we're on to rum. Now I'm going to stir my rum into my fruit mixed muffin mix. Stir, 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 stir. Oh, that smells beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, we now have a muffin mix. And it was not made by the Muffin Man. So we have a muffin mix. Now, when you buy them in the supermarket, they've got those little paper dresses on, don't they? I ain't got that. I'm guessing that so they don't stick to the tray. Okay, so I think if you could use, I've used this for Yorkshire puddings, and don't you put a bit of oil in for Yorkshire pudding? So, rapeseed up. Nah, let's do this properly. Olive oil. So let's do this 6. Do the right 6 first. Oh look, yeah, I've caught you on camera a little bit. So a little bit. Little bit. Oily muffins. Little bit. Ooh, that was a little bit more. That was a little bit more as well. Whoa. So they're not consistent, these measurements. But just use a little finger just to wipe it round all the edges. As you're lubing up the tin. Can you say that before the watershed? Yeah, you can lube stuff up before the watershed. It's the internet. Who cares? So, we have 6 lubed holes, or things. Just put a scoop in. Did I put more baking powder in? I don't know. We'll put baking powder in the next one, because does alcohol kill baking powder? These are all things that we just don't know, and we're just going to have to learn together. So we'll just spread thing on there. Cool. Camera 2's still working, which is always reassuring. So I'm just doing this just for my benefit, really. To be fair, this is all for my benefit. if you've got this far into the video, I'm amazed. There's lots of other things you could have clicked on to watch. Because I'm probably going to put this on, YouTube? So, I was going to say, there's lots of things down this side to watch, but does this mirror my image? So have I got to do this side to demonstrate as well? Basically, there's lots of things you could have clicked on to watch, but instead you're about 15 minutes into me trying to make muffins. Trusting I don't cut too much out on an edit. So, we now have muffins. Now, there's not too many fruity bits that are going to contaminate the next batch. So I'm going to roll with it. So, let's put this tray out of sight for a minute. Muffin bowl. Suppose we do muffin mix. Now, I forgot to put rum in that. That's worlds better for it. So, we now have our other bit of mix. To tilt the bowl this way, then it's on the camera. So let's move that bit of mix out. And for this one, I said this will be inspired by a espresso martini. So we're gonna do a mocha teeny muffin, or such what. So for that we need espresso. So let's take this camera for a walk to the espresso maker. Double coffees, go. This will make some magic work. Could have really made this a bit more exciting. Let's just cut back to here. Thankfully, I spilt lots of flour. I was going to say I spilt enough flour to work out where this camera sat. It can live there now. Yes. So that one's halfway through. So while that does that, we need vodka. You know, because espresso martinis have vodka now. There's a bit more. I think it's going to be quite wet, so this is probably going to want extra flour already decided. So we're committed to extra flour. It's definitely, I've got lots of espresso here. So let's put a bit of espresso in. A bit more in. There we go. So we've got some espresso. And I said we was going to have a mocha. So we have got our lovely chocolate sauce. You know, because everyone's got 2.5 kilo chocolate sauces around. This was actually free. I got this as a gift from Booker at a trade event. Brilliant. I think I traded once a member of staff like a beer for it. It was something stupid. I was hammered. Couldn't tell you a thing. But then, so we've got that, and that looks a bit wet, so. Bit more. Okay, so we've got flour in there. Decided before, forget it needs more baking powder, because baking powder makes fluffy muffins. I'm sure there's a saying like that. If not, there is now. Oops. So let's. Oh, that feels really sort of like a slimy consistency as I'm trying to mix all that in, but oh, that's really rich. That's really chocolatey. So that's going to take a bit of kneading, bit of work there. There we go. We'll basically go till it looks brown. It's consistently brown. There we go. Smells chocolatey. So let's move that aside and bring back in our muffin tin. How are we looking for camera? So this is the thing, I've got to try and line cameras up. So if I put that there, you can see the 6 remaining muffin tins. And let's use a spoon and, whoop. Oh, this is going to be the test. We've not had the oil out. Let's lube these other ones up. So one of them might get a little stuck. So we've got to do a little dribble there. Ooh, it's not all the way down. Might be able to get a little bit of oil down the side. It's very delicate work, this one. Steady, 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 steady. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit in that one. A little bit in that one. There we go. We just got a little bit in each one, not a little bit more. You know, new official measurement. So it's got to mix it in. Whirly, 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 whirly. Whirly, 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 whirly. Right, so let's do some dolloping. Ooh, it's quite a sticky mixture. That goes in there. So this should hopefully rise. I hope it does. It'd be a damn shame if it doesn't. What are they taking you? Was it like 15 minutes? Isn't like anything that's like a cake cooks in 15 minutes. I've never known cakes take like hours. It's not like putting a chicken in. I'm sure it's literally like 15 minutes. So I was going to say, we've definitely got more mixture on this one. Let's put a bit more on a couple of these. I'll try not to spread it across too many. And then that should be our muffin tray. Oh, it's back camera as well. So I think it's time they went in the oven. Now, I won't bore you with that because it's an oven. So we'll come back after that bit. An oven, which is now actually warm. They're quite heavy. 175-ish degrees. That'll do. Ooh. They're rising. And yes, I know, I need to clean the oven door. So, they've been in for about 15-20 minutes, and from the grubby oven door, they look like muffins. So, let's have a look. Ooh, probably muffins. So, this is what we've got. So, let's just position them a bit better. So we've got them. The ones that I put a bit more baking powder in, these are the chocolatey ones with the espresso and vodka. They've grown a bit more. And the fruity ones, they haven't risen as much. I might have to play back the footage, but I don't know if I put any extra baking powder in. But I think let's ignore that and let's take the conclusion that vodka rises more than rum. I think that's the logical thing here. So, I probably need to let these cool. Do you let them cool? No. Let's try this little one here. Can I like lift it up a little bit? Get it out. Ooh. The warm. That's a good sign. But there we have one muffin. So I'm actually, let's hold. Now a plate. I don't have one of them ones, and I'm going to take a smaller chocolatey one out. So considering there was no recipe, there was no measurements, it was all done by iron, taking the assumption of roughly what should go in a cake went into a muffin, they're not too bad. So let's move these out of the way and let's see how bad they taste. So we have got, Let's start with the fruity one. So we've got, he's had a bit longer to cool. Feels probably a bit stodgy. It is a bit stodgy. But you can taste the fruit. I can taste the apple and the ginger. Not so much the rum. A lot of ginger. They're not terrible. And then we've got the mocha martini inspired muffin. I quite like the look of that. I was going to say it's a good weight for a muffin. It is heavy. It's properly heavy. That's scarily good. I'm trying to work out what I can taste. So I can taste the chocolate. I can't quite taste the sort of coffee, but that's nice. So there we have it. That is how to fluke making very, very rough looking muffins. So I'd like to think if you're bored of this festive period, this could be almost like motivation to think, I can't cock it up that much if I decide to play in the kitchen and do some baking. I've basically just thrown some flour, some eggs, a bit of water, and a few other random bits together, and it's grown to something the shape of a muffin. I think that's a success. But anyway, Merry Christmas, and thanks for watching. You could have clicked on one of those other videos, but you know, each to their own. Probably good this bit weren't in the main part of the video. Just found some apple stalk in my muffin. You don't always get apple stalks in apple muffins. To be fair, you don't normally get apple muffins. Cool.